Hi there, I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you today, coming to you live yet again from Tokyo, Japan on the 29th of April 2014. And today we are still talking about, we were just having an update a few hours ago, actually a few minutes ago, on severe tropical storm Tapah. That's according to the Japan Meteorological Agency, but making a new update because now it is Typhoon Tapah, according to the U.S. military. JMA, the Japan Meteorological Agency, a larger wind margin. They go on a 10-minute vice of 1 minute, and they're less aggressive than JTWC. But I think at this time, and you can see there in the top left, this is a pretty decent typhoon, and I say that with confidence because at least at this time, we have a pretty defined eye around that center of circulation. And then whenever we see that, we're talking about the pressure being low enough down to about 970 HPA, and likely those winds up there around 65 knots. And that's exactly what JTWC has said at this time. And I agree with it. I think that is going to be there. So at least at this time, we are still looking at tropical storm warnings in effect for the Northern Mariana Islands. But I would not be surprised if some of these warnings do get upgraded to typhoon for the extreme northern portions of the islands out here into the Marianas. Now, that is not to say that Guam and Saipan, you're going to get anything, because really it's just about over here for you down towards the south. Take a look at the radar imagery out of Guam. It's pretty quiet at this time. A few isolated showers, but what we have is a lot of dry air wrapping around the western periphery of this storm system. Moisture off towards the northeast, and plus we have pretty decent outflow aloft coming in from an upper level low way off there towards the north. So that's allowing a little bit of a burst and robust pop of convection out of this, but I would not expect this to remain long lasting, and neither does JTWC. They expect it to decrease in intensity within the next 24 hours as it moves across the northern Mariana Islands, eventually moving off there towards the north, getting picked up by another trough and turning towards the northeast away from Iwoto. And yeah, some people living out there in those islands as well. JMA actually expects this possibly to go over towards Iwoto, pull up their track, and they continue to track it off there towards the north into some of the Ogasawara Islands. And that's really going to be the big population hitter if it does go over towards that way. You have a couple thousand people living on these small islands out here, but I think by the time it gets up there, it is going to be a much weaker storm. With that said, second, I guess, possibly named Typhoon of the Year. This is where you start getting to that gray area. Please do go check out the website and our YouTube channel about who is the official agency, because right now this storm is so close. This is a model outlook, by the way, I have up on the screen, but the storm is so close to Guam that the JTWC and the United States government technically is their official agency out here, but once it moves farther towards the north, it is Japan's official agency, and it is overall Japan is the official agency in the Western Pacific. So is this going to go down as a typhoon or not? It depends on if JMA upgrades it, but as far as Guam is concerned, yes. Very confusing details. Regardless, if you are ahead of this at this time, take it seriously. It's a pretty potent storm system, and we're looking at that pressure continuing to drop, and this is definitely going to be kicking up the seas even farther back towards the south. You know, the radar's quiet and Guam, but you're still going to be looking at some rough waves throughout the day here on your Tuesday. I know a lot of tourists out there as well. It's Golden Week in Japan, so a lot of Japanese tourists do visit the Ogasawara Islands and the Mariana Islands, and this is definitely going to be putting a damper on their plans. That much is for sure. So let's take a look at the model outlook. We were showing this earlier, but just once again, pulling off there towards the northeast. This is really going to get sheared through the coming days, basically out by Wednesday. I know these winds are coming in from the east here, but if we look at the higher upper level winds, this is what I'm talking about. The jet stream's coming down. It's going to dip down right here. And what we're seeing is these high upper level winds on the northern periphery going from west to east. That's going to pull all that moisture. Take a look at the moisture. It gets slowly pulled off there towards the northeast. So even if this does go near the Ogasawara Islands, the bulk of the rain shower is going to be in the eastern periphery. And that is why conditions expected to rapidly clear up throughout the day here on your Wednesday if you are in Saipan and over towards Guam. And then the storm system will be weakening out by Wednesday night into Thursday. So a short-living typhoon. It reminds me a lot of, what was it, Tapah? the one we had earlier on this year, our first typhoon of the year. Yeah, this one reminds me a lot of that. Going near Guam, rapidly intensifying, and then swinging off there towards the northeast. It's just one of those storm systems. It's not going to impact the Philippines. I know this looks pretty ominous for you, but those upper level troughs off here towards the north are going to play a major role in you getting impacted or not, because they are just going to pull this off on the northern periphery. Even Japan, you're not going to see that. Actually, we're going to see some showers on Tuesday and the Wednesday across much of Japan, but that is more so due to this westerly low right here, which is going to bring some areas up to 200 to 300 millimeters of total rainfall into the Key Peninsula, extending over through the Kanto Plain, even extending out by Thursday morning. That wet weather will still be in place before it clears out by the end of the work week. So unfortunately, I know it's been quite beautiful across Japan. That's going to change up. Zooming back out, though, if you look back towards the southeast in Hong Kong and Taiwan, you're also looking at some wet weather later on this week. That is going to be pretty much the case. The Mayu front really getting its act together, and it's going to start to become more apparent here for you. And afternoon showers and thunderstorms popping up if you are in the Philippines. That's about the extent of what's happening out here. Really, easterlies just continue to impact it, and afternoon showers, some of them could become strong. You can see right there, Tuesday it's quiet, and then afternoon it pops up, then it quiets, then it pops back up, and that's just this case out here. All right, everybody, that is all for right now, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us here at westernpacificweather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can always post them down there in the comment box below. I always appreciate your feedback. Also, don't forget to go check out the website. At the bottom of every page, we have this right here. It's a donation button. We're looking at some new features, trying to make the site more user-friendly, so please do go hit that donation button. Help us out there with that. Also, if you are out of the storm, though, make sure you continue to check back in with your official agencies. In this scenario, like I said, it is the Guam National Weather Service. If you're under advisories, please take this one seriously, though. It has rapidly intensified, a little bit stronger than I expected. Didn't really expect this one to become a tropical storm. Now up to a typhoon. All right, everybody. Stay safe out there.